So we're here with Deonna Washington, Director of School Quality in Detroit. And how many interviews have you sat through?
Oh my gosh, so many, like a ton.
So it's safe to say you have a pretty good feel on how somebody should prepare for an interview, what you want to see from the other side of the table, what you want to see from a good fit. What is the number one mistake somebody makes in an interview? Just right off the bat, we've got a list of things that we want to talk about, but that's one thing I've kind of always wondered is there a commonality of just one thing, don't like that?
Yeah, I think for me it is when a candidate says that they can't think of growth opportunities. For me, I feel like everyone has room to grow. And I personally feel like being a part of NHA, we live in a place of cyclical feedback. And so therefore it's really, really important for a person to be able to self-assess where those growth opportunities lie, because I think it's going to allow that transition when we come to that culture of feedback to be one in which it happens naturally.
That is fascinating to me because I feel like every interview prep you see or every movie you see, my greatest weakness is I try too hard, I'm too much of a perfectionist, but you want to see somebody that's willing to say that they are open to growth.
Absolutely.
Okay, that's, because again, I mean, we've all sat through interviews and you're really trying to sell yourself. This is what I did well, this is the improvement my students made, these are all the things I incorporate in my classroom. But that is fascinating that is something that you are looking for in interviews with your teachers, is this growth mindset.
Absolutely.
So, I'm 23, 24, 28, teaching candidate Scott Williams. I'm sitting across the table from you. What do I need to do to prepare myself for this interview before I even sit down and talk to you?
I think fit is so important. I think when you're thinking about the school that you want to start your educational journey, it's important to make sure that you have done your research, right? I look to see, has the candidate truly, number one, researched NHA? Do they understand who we are, the principles, our core values, what we stand for, right? And does that align with your values? In addition to that, I also want to know, have they taken the time to do some research about the school, the community, and the scholars that ultimately they'll be serving? We all know before you can ever teach a scholar, you've got to have that relational capacity. And so therefore knowing who you're serving will make that transition for them in the classroom that much easier, because it starts with relationships.
So I don't want to give away all the answers to the test, but what are you asking to see if I've studied? Really, you know what I mean? Like we talk about core values, we talk about fit. What is something that you would ask to see if I've done my research?
Absolutely. So very simple. What do you know about NHA? What brought you to the NHA website, right? Why NHA careers versus a different school down the road? Why are you applying to this particular community? What is it about this community that attracts you? So just very simple questions that will really get to the root of, do I truly know, number one, who I'm applying for, and number two, why I'm applying.
So we said at the beginning of this video, the one thing that you don't like is somebody that's not open to growth or talk about these growth opportunities. What is something that you are looking for in an interview?
Yeah, so I personally, I work with teachers from varying backgrounds. I look to make sure that they have a love and a passion for scholars. I personally feel like we can build your skill. I want to see your will come through and shine through in the interview. I want to know that you love kids, you love scholars, and you have the grit and the capacity to do whatever it takes to close gaps and to ensure that kids reach their like ultimate potential. That's what I'm looking for.
How do I communicate? So, a little behind the curtain, I hate talking about my feelings. That's just a cross I have to bear. How do I communicate my love of teaching and grit and all these things? Is that something that you are prompting, or should I just come out and say I love teaching? Is that enough?
Yeah, I think honestly, it will come through, right, through the lens of the questions, your background, the things that you've done to personally connect yourself to scholars. So I meet people all the time. They're bank tellers, you know, yesterday and fifth grade teacher tomorrow, but there are certain things that they're doing to ensure that they're connecting with scholars. Maybe it is I work with a youth league at my, like down the road from me, a baseball league, or I'm involved in my church, but it's going to come through that in every way, shape, or form, you are finding ways to connect with scholars.
Okay. Growth mindset.
Yes.
Love and grit.
Yes.
Is there anything else I need to know about Deonna before I interview at one of your schools?
I think the biggest piece is for me is that in any school that I support, I want to make sure 100% that kids are number one. That every decision you make, your why, your reason is going to be because you want scholars to be better on your watch. So that's my biggest thing. Every day that you come, I want to ensure that kids will be better because you are their teacher.
Love that. You said nothing about testing scores, nothing about data, nothing about curriculum or how you present in the classroom. It's all about the kids.
It's about the kids.
Thank you, Deonna.
Thank you.